here with the tournament! Gen 7.
The Tournament of Champions. Some people have different terms for champions.
And as a part of the tournament here, what seeds do we have going here between the Horde and Mamox?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. They should be middling seeds. The Horde, TCH Grizzle, Doomsday 95 in the higher seed over Mamox, I believe.
And the lead here with Magnazone. Don't know if he called the Manaphy lead by Mamox, but a pretty good matchup here for the Magnazone. You're slow, but you have the Thunderbolt stab to force out the water so that it can't set up like it wants to. And wow,
Yeah.
look at that. Big damage. Just completely wrecks the Infernape on the swap.
And in their 1v1, Mamox was the victor in regular season. We've seen how Grizz has adapted to that. But tournament play, best of 3. Another big thing you're getting out of these matches is knowledge.
Just gotta really put Mamox in a bind there, losing one of your best sweepers right off the bat.
It definitely depends on how it's built. With him leading it out there, it could be more of a potentially lead build. But regardless, yeah, losing a Pokemon's never how you want to start the match.
I guess my thought was with the double steal on the Horde side, it could have been he was planning to get Infernape in an overheat, in there to take out this Ferrothorn.
Now we see those seeds operating kind of around the screens here, but the screens are both set. Will the Uxie pull the triggers and a Memento Uxie? Is it gonna just U-turn out? Will it just hard swap to try and set screens up later?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of threat to the Horde just pressing Thunderbolts here. Roserade will take the Thunderbolts quite well, but yeah, or a Volt Switch. My point is electric moves are looking pretty good into Mamox as a whole.
Yeah, with nothing to ground it, resisting it with the Roserade. We see a lot of its bulk being carried by the light screen there. But with both the Victini and the Rotom Heat dealing with those Grass Mon, they're pretty easy to threaten out. And there we see the Z move, but Manaphy resisting behind the screens.
That's a step in the right direction for Mamox. He needs to make small incremental advantages over the Horde since he lost that Pokemon. So going in with the Tail Glow here, I like the idea. Try to go ahead and get something set up. It's now just going to be a matter of what coverage moves does he have.
Going straight for the Z move, I do like that, just trying to remove the Rotom. Just don't give it an opportunity to pop some electric shenanigans on you, but now the Lopunny's going to hit the field.
And because he got the defog off, you really can't expect to survive a high jump kick.
Yeah, I'm just curious if he's planning on pivoting around to try and get more fake out chip here. The downside to the Manaphy is obviously its speed, and without the screens there, it is now vulnerable. Saving it at 59% could be good, but it really depends on how it's built. But no, we see it swapping out. He's not enjoying the fake out damage there, but a double swap. Clefable staring down Tornadus now.
That's really, really interesting on the double swap. I would have imagined that he would have pressed his advantage there and gone for some sort of move on an impending swap because he knew the Manaphy was out. So
And there we see a Grizzle special. He really likes running that. Oh, and a Mamox special there too. That life orb on the Clefable getting knocked off. But then the taunt on the Tornadus stopping the Clefable from setting up with further Calm Minds. Now just going to go straight into the Moon Blast. Clefable will be able to kind of tank through the taunt if it needs to. The Rose Raid threatening with poison, of course, not gonna keep it in there for that off of one Calm Mind. Magnezone coming back in. A Hidden Power coming out, calling the swap. Looks like HP
wow.
Fire.
Yeah, it looks like HP Fire as well. I would guess the same. And is okay? He's gonna go to the low punny here, and yeah, gonna get a swap back to the Tornadus. We'll see if he has Ice Punch. This is kind of what I was wondering if he has the Ice Punch, but the Tornadus may be able to just outspeed with the U-turn and just straight up swap back to the Uxie and try to reset up the screens.
Yeah, but I really like seeing the recoil there. The Rocky Helm on the Tornadus. It could be a physical build. Uh, I wouldn't be trusting this thing's speed against the low punny that's going to be set offensively. Could still be running speed though with the taunt. A lot of options. Great Pokemon. Love his little pecker down there. He's at the little Dickmon, as he's known as.
It's his belly button.
Yeah, okay. I know. I'm a professor here. I know a lot about Pokemon.
Lee does rhyme with tree.
And both of these guys in the think tank now. Really wanting to get the win on this game one. Definitely important to kind of set the standard. But it also is very important on what these players are learning from each other. There's the Ice Punch. It is there. And a Freeze proc. Oh, so it survived the Ice Punch, but the Freeze proc freezes the Tornadus in place. It's now just a pivoting Rocky Helmet frozen. He's just going to throw it away here. Getting the last bit of Rocky Helmet chip.
Interesting
Rixie going to
choice.
come back out. Yeah, I'm kind of fine with it, saying the RNG god said I'm not allowed to play with this at the moment. Uxie coming in as a great counter to kind of wall off the low punny. But this does allow the low punny to switch out to reset its fake out if Grizz decides to do so. He did land a good return before the reflect went up, and just going to try and push damage with another. Stealth Rock's also coming out of the Uxie. It doesn't mind taking its time to set up, but there it's going to die. Now with a couple turns of reflect up, Mawile going to enter the field, drop the attack.
This is gonna be close because I don't think Sucker Punch kills Low Punny here, and he
Yeah, I
swaps
think the big thing,
anyways.
yeah, the attack drop and knowing that the low punny doesn't necessarily have the coverage, going straight for the Fire Fang, calling the swap in on the Ferrothorn.
And seeing Fire Fang is pretty telling for those who may face Mamox later on. Pretty important coverage move there.
Yeah, definitely the token coverage move kind of across the board for Mawile builds in general play. But here we see the Manaphy coming in, just getting a bit more value out of stalling stuff out and just pushing damage into the Clefable here. Oof, and Clefable die into that is rough. It's going to be hard for Grizz to come back again. This is only the first match's best of 3. So a lot of the knowledge that they're gaining here, the fake out going to come out. No more intimidate for the mall while. The reflect is now gone. We're playing a little free balling now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna see just a high jump kick right here, and he has to try to just survive. Oh, and he misses, and he loses half his HP and goes down. He got the freeze proc and everything this game, and he is
Yep.
just unable to finish it.
The RNG gods giveth, the RNG gods taketh.
What a match so far. Victini taking a quarter HP from the rocks, and
And with that psychic typing, it can just be sucker punches to the end here.
yep, yep.
The Rock's bringing it down to 51%.
Yeah, and there's the sucker punch, and that's going to be game one. We have best of 3 here, so going to go right into the next game.
A rough start by Mamox, really pulling it back in there.
Yeah, yeah. Good,
We'll
good.
see how we'll see how both players adjust. We'll see if the leads change in this.
Yeah, and I think we are definitely going to see some different leads here. I mean, the Manaphy basically just lost a few turns there to the Manaphy to the Infernape, so probably going to see at least the Uxie lead to go ahead and get Stealth Rocks out. Um, but yeah, I think we're going to see something a little different here from Mamox.
The low punny straight out the gate. Love the fake out lead. Just going to push some damage in and figure the game out from here.
And one big thing is we noticed that Uxie does not have leftovers, so probably has some sort of berry.
It's going to have the clay for the screens, I
Oh,
imagine.
or the light clay, good call, yeah.
Yeah, the return coming out, a lot of damage getting pushed. All of that pre-reflect damage is just so valuable to get onto that Uxie. Tornado's going to come in to wall off and chip. Or attempt to. We know that the ice punch is there. He survived the last one and died to the freeze. He could threaten with the hurricane here. If he has it. And a miss from the hurricane. The breakdown of the Clefable begins. Moonblast, big damage still.
There goes the taunt. I think he's expecting a swap, but oh, see a wish come in on the Clefable. Interesting choice as a heal move instead of
Yeah, being
Moonlight.
able to go for the wish, but just immediately into the sludge bomb to kill. Say I was going to dirtle around, but if you're going to sit here, even with that special attack drop. I believe the plan was to survive and start getting some calm minds off and let the wish heal him back up. But especially with seeing the damage of the Clefable off just kind of flat Moonblast stealing that 35%, I imagine it's offensively invested. And when I try and set up like that, I really lean into the defenses.
Just nearly killing, and that's going to clean reset off the dead Uxie. I wonder, we won't be able to see Mawile. Well, we could see Mawile here. It's still risky, but with the double, with the rock and the spike in, yeah, I think he wants to set up Manaphy because you know that the Horde is trying to get over to his Rotom to defog.
And the Z move there, maybe a bit of overkill. Possibly expecting some kind of swap and just wanting to push the damage and advantage forward. Magnezone going to come in, take the hazards. Yeah, and we see Roserade much squishier without that light screen up.
Yeah, we see back to that point where the electric moves are really strong, and yeah, he's got to go to that Rotom to get those rock and spikes out of there. It's just dealing too much incremental value. Oh, and he can't get him away. The stab sludge bomb killing, life orb taking out the Roserade,
Yeah, I
and
gotta say, Roserade's definitely been the MVP of this match so far. Just really getting those clinch moves right there.
yeah, being able to take out two Keymon in the Clefable and the Rotom right there.
Yeah, and I really enjoy seeing a late pickup in the season be able to really pull a team out of a
Oh!
1% survive. But the Hurricane misses again. Late in the season, in the regular season, Mamox was hitting every Hurricane, but now he's back to his normal ways.
You hate that for the boy.
His
and
unruly Tornadus.
and he manually. Oh, this is so risky. So risky. Ooh.
Oh, ooh.
With the Intimidate and the Steel typing. But that's risky to swap into your regular Mawile into a Lopunny with the chance that he pressed a fighting move. Ooh.
There's the high jump kick. He's getting very low here. The Fire Fang just expecting the Ferrothorn to come in immediately. It's going to be the Magnezone to go ahead and trap it.
Yeah, really risky here. The Sucker Punch won't kill, but the Thunderbolt will. Um, I wonder if he's going to be able to kill this Ferrothorn. It kind of depends on what this Infernape's packing here.
He's got an Infernape and some Mon to switch into. I think he's in a pretty decent
He
position.
does
Yeah,
have the overheat. That's huge. Yeah, so that's going to be enough to kill this Ferrothorn here.
He can even just be very clean about it and go ahead and swap, but he's just going to hit it, say, oh, and the crit to make sure of it.
And 2-0 for Mamox over the Horde. Big plays.